Big news, Cardano is coming to Coinbase Pro, as long as all liquidity issues are met. This is huge, okay? Everybody has been talking about, where can I get Cardano? It's the biggest question that anybody asks me. Well, it's been in the news for a long time that when Cardano goes to Coinbase, the biggest trading platform, okay, exchange, that's when it's going to take off. Now, there's no guarantees, but it's an exciting time for Cardano. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Best of Us Investors presents Jim Wells.
Hi, I'm Jim Wells. I'm a part of the Best of Us Investors Network. I hope that you will join us and become a part of our community. So why are people so excited about Cardano? Well, number one, it's peer-reviewed. So both Ethereum and Bitcoin and most of the other blockchains, there was a white paper proposed or a blueprint that basically explained what the blockchains and what their functions were and what they were all about. Well, what Charles Hodgkinson did, he worked for Ethereum. He was one of the original founders and engineers, and he basically left Ethereum to start up Cardano. He didn't believe that it was working the way it should be working. He didn't agree with the model that it was using, and he felt like there was a much more efficient and cheaper way to do things. So he left the Ethereum network and started Cardano. So when he did this, instead of just him planning out what to do and how to do it, he basically had a whole team of engineers, academicians, and people in the space that were experts, and they sent papers back and forth. Okay, 90 papers were sent back and forth and read and reread and reviewed, and they basically talked about all the things that they could improve from Ethereum. So that's peer-reviewed. Number two, Cardano hopefully is going to be faster in terms of its trades per second, and it's going to be able to talk or communicate much easier and more efficiently with other networks. That is the hope. That is the plan in terms of what it's going to do in terms of its functionality. In addition, it's going to be cheaper, or the hope is going to be cheaper, because of its consensus model. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum use a proof of work consensus model, which is basically mining. Okay, so the miners do all the work to make the Bitcoin and the Ethereum, and they are paid based on the ether that is sent in Ethereum. They basically are paid the fees for transmission. Through the proof of stake model, that's eliminated. So not only is it going to be more efficient, but it's going to be cheaper to send. That is the hope. That is the thought. So why do I keep saying that's the hope, that's the thought? Because Cardano is still in its infancy stage. It's just been released this month in terms of starting smart contracts on it. But the hope is that it's going to be more efficient. You want to think of it basically like a Tesla that is, all the plans have been made for it, as opposed to Ethereum, which is more like a Ford. It's what we currently use. It's functional. It basically has all the decentralization, all the decentralized finance that goes on in the world right now pretty much is handled on the Ethereum network. All its DeFi and applications basically do all the tasks that are necessary to perform all the different smart contracts on the Ethereum network. Now, the hope is both Plutus and Marlow, which are Cardano's basically DeFi and their programs, are going to be more efficient at communicating and also talking to other networks and also performing the smart contracts themselves. So let's talk about Cardano's proof of stake consensus model as opposed to Ethereum's. So Cardano's basically is going to be, number one, more eco-friendly because there's no mining involved. It's estimated that the mining that takes place for Ethereum and Bitcoin takes up about 1% of the world's energy. So staking takes nowhere near that. Basically, staking goes into a pool, and the people that own the Cardano put it into a staking pool, and that basically is what makes the Cardano. Miners are not needed. It's a much more efficient, it's a much more cost-effective consensus model. Ethereum is attempting to do that also, but it's really kind of like taking an engine, a really good souped-up engine, and putting it into a frame of a car that was not meant to be built that way. Not that they can't do it, not that they won't do it, they could do it, and it could be a very effective Ford racing car. Okay? Where Cardano is designing a car that was meant to be run on a proof of stake model. So if we analyze Cardano, let's start with the market cap, where Bitcoin is at $1 trillion, Ethereum is at $205 billion, and which is about 20% of Bitcoin, and Cardano is at close to $40 billion, which is at about 20% of Ethereum. So that would be 4% of Bitcoin. It's currently in the third largest blockchain after Bitcoin and Ethereum. Binance Coin is not a blockchain, it is a token that is sold on or used as utility on the Binance exchange. So it is not a blockchain. So I want to leave that out of the equation here. So after we look at market cap, next thing to look at is the circulating supply or the scarcity. So start up here with Bitcoin, which we know has 18.6 million on its way to 21 million, and that's all it will ever have. So it definitely, those two things, market cap and circulating supply, definitely make an argument for Bitcoin being the most secure and the safest, along with the adoption that's going on today. But move on from that. Ethereum, okay, has 115 million tokens in comparison to Bitcoin's 18 million. Okay, and then if you look at Cardano, okay, so now we're in the trillions. So it's 31, almost 32 trillion ADA. So much more ADA than Ether or Bitcoin. So that's one of the reasons why you see Cardano at $1.22 versus Ethereum at 1,700 and Bitcoin at 56,000. Okay, but also you got to look at the functionality, and we also got to determine the fact that Cardano is still in its infancy stages, and but that's the numbers. That's pretty much breaks down where the numbers are at, and we could also look at the trading volume that's going on. Pretty high amount for all three, so that doesn't tell us a whole lot, other than the fact that people are interested in all three at this point. So, yeah, and as you can see right here, it does give you a little indicator that Cardano is definitely hot right now in the last 7 days, as compared to Ethereum and Bitcoin. Okay, those are the numbers. So let's sum things up about Cardano. Number one, it's coming to Coinbase Pro, which is the biggest trading cryptocurrency platform or exchange in the United States. Coinbase is. So that's exciting because it's going to be very easy to get. It's going to be adopted very easily. Number two, what it's trying to do in terms of making smart contracts and software and moving things on the blockchain much more efficient, much cheaper, and much more energy conscious. So if you're excited about that idea and what it's going to do, I know from a retail investor standpoint, I'm tired of paying the gas fees and the ether fees when I have to take something off my wallet or I want to move something from place to place, and this should help that. So Cardano, I believe, is the future. With that being said, we do have to think about the scarcity issue. Okay, we talked about the fact that Bitcoin and Ethereum, there are much less coins as opposed to Cardano's. So we need to keep that in mind. So that's a negative. But overall, I'm excited about what it can do, its functionality, and the fact that it is being adopted. So we'll see you soon.